beat? Because, okay, first off, what's your goal? Is your goal to become the Mr. 212 Mr. Olympia?
Without doubt,
Okay.
without doubt. And I know it is within the realm of possibility for me to do that, Matt. And I say that with no hesitation.
Okay.
You know, I respect all the guys that, you know, have mastered their craft and have the opportunity to be on that Olympia stage because they earned it. And I know exactly what they went through to get there. But again, apex predator, I want to tear everybody's limbs off. You know, I want to win, and I know I have it in my power to win. It is finding the right formula on that day for those few short hours to show that I am worthy of that title.
Yeah.
However, when you ask what I got to do, I gotta out present Keon.
Yeah.
Come in bigger than Sean. Be more conditioned than the both of them.
Yes.
All things that I can do. That ball rolling.
Let's keep it going. Like, do you Angel Calderon beat you? I didn't have him beating you at the 2023 Mr. Olympia, be honest. What's your thoughts? Like, you just, like, you were there, I wasn't there, so you were there standing next to the guy, your shape and everything. Do you think you should have placed, it's uncensored here, so do you think you should have placed the head of Angel?
Yes.
All right, guys, welcome back to another episode of Muscle Discord, and I have a very special guest on the podcast with me, Kerrith Bajjo. Man, welcome to the show.
Hey, how's it going, man? Thanks for having me on, man.
Well, man, thanks for coming on. I appreciate it. We've been working on getting this one done, and we got it. We made it happen. So excited to have you here, especially with what's going on. Lots to talk about. We just had the New York Pro. We're going to dive into that. But let's just back up a little bit for the viewers that may not know. I want to know, so we have it here officially, your age, you're open to saying, your height, and your stage weight that at the New York Pro.
All right. So first question, age, 42, a young 42.
Yes.
You know, I just shaved because the grays were showing, but don't let the gray hair fool you.
Yeah.
42, a young 42. I started bodybuilding competitively at 35. That's when I started to take it serious.
Okay.
So, you know, relatively new to the game. 35 is when I turned pro. I should say I flirted with it at 32, but 35, that's when I buckled down. Height, 5'5" if the wind is blowing in the right direction.
Yes. Okay.
You know, I'm not the tallest guy. People see me in person, they're like, "Wow, I thought you were taller." You know?
Yeah. I get the same thing. I'm same height. Yeah.
Yeah, man. I'm just working with what God's given me.
Exactly.
And as far as stage weight goes, we were probably around 209. We weighed in at 210 and change with light sweats on.
Okay.
You know, but throughout the show, the weight dropped, and you know, we got a better look when the weight dropped.
Okay. Awesome. Okay. And where do you currently live?
I'm in Connecticut. I don't know if you guys are familiar with the States, but Connecticut is pretty much East New York, you know, and I live right at the cusp of the New York border. It takes me 15 minutes to get into New York. So,
I've been to Hartford, Connecticut before.
Oh, I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry.
It's a long time ago. I don't remember, but yeah, I was like, And okay, so what's your background, like your ethnic background?
Ethnic background, I was born in Jamaica. A lot of people don't know this. You know, if you don't believe me, trust me. I come from. So a lot of people don't know that. But yes, speak patois the whole nine.
Okay.
But you know, I can't talk it to people. And I went through an Americanized school system since kindergarten. So this is how I speak all the time. I'm not living a double life or anything.
Yes. Like that. So you're born in Jamaica and you came here to the US when
I was like 4.5 years old. Okay. So, you know, very vague memories of when I was born there and stuff like that. But I always went back for vacation, summer vacation, things like that. And, you know, I've pretty much been in Connecticut my whole life, man. You know, CT is home. I'm a New England guy. You know, I'm a New York guy. This is home, man.
What brought you to Connecticut of all of Jamaica? And then your parents, I guess your parents had something there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Parents. And, I've had opportunities to relocate, but you know what? No matter where you go, dude, some places your heart's just there.
Yeah.
And as much as I would love to relocate, when I'm in another place for a certain amount of time,
Yeah.
you always gravitate back to what you know.
Yes.
And that's not a slight to any place that I've been to. It's just, this is where home is. Love
Awesome.
the Four Seasons. Love the Four Seasons.
Yes. Gets cold, but it gets hot and all in the same year. So, okay. So let's recap a little bit just maybe from last year, your placings, just to give people a recap. 2023 New York Pro, you placed first. Awesome.
Yes, sir.
Got the ring, got the
Oh, I didn't get the ring. Tonio got the ring.
Oh, yeah. You're one of the open guys. Okay.
Only the open gets the ring.
I don't know about that. They should we give it to the two top guys too?
I should have stole it from Tony.
And then 2023 Mr. Olympia, you got fourth. Now,
yes,
was that your first?
Sorry.
Was that your first Mr. Olympia?
No, that was my third, actually.
Third Mr. Olympia.
It's my third. First one was 2021.
Okay.
Yeah, okay. So we've had a good run. We've had a good run. First run was with Dave Palumbo, and then the second two I was actually with Justin Miller, and he was helping me out at the time.
Okay, I'm going to ask about that in a second as well. Sure, and then 2024 New York Pro, you got second, and
yes.
What I just want to share the screen so we can look at your photos, because I like to assess photos with the guests that I have on and get their open, with real talk here. We're going to say like, hey, what took place and what happened at this show. So let me share this.
Yeah, man, hold no punches, man. I mean, this is what we do. We leave ourselves open to criticism. So,
yes,
let the shots be fired, and it shows who's a true athlete, who can take that advice, critique, and pivot and become better because of it, whether it's positive or negative.
Exactly. It's not even negative. It's just when you're critiquing someone, you're just critiquing them. You're not saying you look like shit. Obviously, you're not. You're at the Olympia, so like what? Like no, it's nothing like that. So, okay, all right. So we're at the got the NPC News Online photos up. So take me into the look that you brought to this stage, because I went back. We can actually go back to 2023.
This is actually the first time I'm seeing these photos, because I haven't even visited the NPC site to see these. But right there, I'm hitting a front double. It looks pretty good. Like I was a little bit softer in the morning. I was a little filmy, and certain shots I was hitting them. I was still nailing them. Certain things you can do even if you got the flu. And, that pose right there is definitely one of them for me. Side chest, I think that was there. The posing slightly off. I could have probably crunched down a little bit on the abs and blown it out a little bit harder. Mm-hmm. But overall, it's a complete pose. I think I hit it right. And, if it weren't for the conditioning of Oleg, I think that right there was probably, something that could be argued for a first place, spot.
Exactly. I'm going to go over how I feel about how you looked as well. Your front lat's one of a great shot for you as well. The lighting, I'm going to tell you one thing. Compared to 2023, it's darker.
I agree.
Yeah. So in your dark, so it's like that didn't help you, right?
Yeah. So certain cameras, like people were taking pictures with their iPhones or Androids, and they were sending them to me, and I was like, "How come you got a better picture than guys with a pro camera?" Some guys got it right, and from what I was told by a photographer, it comes down to the lenses. See, like right there,
how bright this
everything is popping. And I'll definitely say that my lat spread improved this year, but it was difficult to see. That's just everything, soup to nuts. It's a brighter lighting right there. So you could see the detail. And I have dark skin.
Yes.
I have dark skins. Yeah.
When we go here, let me go back here. Okay. Well, I have to go. So let's just go back to 2024. We'll stay on there.
Okay.
And then just to show you, I wanted to show you the lighting difference. That's all we needed to see.
Yeah. Yeah.
And the back, the front, symmetry wise, you take Ole. Do okay. Your symmetry is obviously better than his. Your structure is better than his, in my opinion.
Thank you.
And then we were looking at the 2023 shots, the brighter light. Now look how dark, and you're losing all that detail compared to 2023. Yes, you were sharper in 2023. Like you said, you have like a film of water still.
Yeah, but I'll tell you this though. Looking at this, because this is the first time I'm seeing this picture.
Yeah.
And shout out to Will Cardenia for getting that shot, because I like the way I'm presenting it there.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's just that it is very, very dark and everything looks washed out. There's nothing really popping there. What I see is a good bodybuilder, and I think lighting could have made me a great bodybuilder.
Yes.
On that day.
Yeah. Back double bicep. We could look at the rear lat in this lighting. Like your glutes, I can see your glutes coming in like a little bit there too. It's so dark.
Yeah. But it's not that I'm presenting it wrong. No. You just can't see anything.
Yeah, it's too dark.
Yeah.
And I know how vascular you are, and especially leading into this, where's that most muscular one? Yeah, this one. This is the one you do all the time. It's dark compared to 2023. So you just
very dark. Yeah, but see there, you could see the film on my core.
Yes.
Not sure if they showed any of the night show photos.
No,
because it shows a drastic improvement. Okay. Night show, I came back and we were probably a couple pounds lighter, and I was hitting my poses, but just it was day late, dollar short type of deal.
Okay.
And I would have thought that they would have definitely done, a rejudging or confirmation, being that it was so close. And especially after seeing the scorecard and only being 1 point difference, I thought that we may have been able to sway, in our favor. And we knew it was going to be close. Because I know Oleg as a competitor. We've gone up against each other a few times now at the Olympia. And I mean, guy's good, man. He's cut out.
Yeah, he was peeled, dry. Just the structure, like that lat spread, you can tell like it's not your front lat spread, right? Symmetry wise. Yeah. The shoulder's a little bit over dominant, and the lats aren't necessarily as wide. But he brought the conditioning.
Conditioning can win shows, man.
Yeah.
And like Steve said on your show the other day, conditioning is going to be shape.
Exactly. And that's exactly what happened here. Right.
Yeah.
So, how high is Ole placed at the Olympia?
4th. So it's funny, right? And this is why I feel no way about Oleg placing first here. Granted, I wanted to win.
Yes.
But the year prior, Oleg had gotten 4th at the Olympia, and we almost switched places. So I believe last year he finished 6th after Ahmad Ashkenani.
Yeah.
And in 2022, I was 7th. He was 4th.
Okay.
So we kind of flip-flopped, and I got to say that 16. I was ready for him at the night show, but I just kind of I wish they rejudged this.
Yeah, you said a little too late there. Yeah. So I'll stop the share here just so we go back to us here. There we go.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, so thanks for being honest and open with your own assessment, and kind of you say I did come up a little short, right? I'll admit that.
100%. And even at the night show, I know I could be better than that. And in fact, I believe I'm better now, with a little bit more food in me.
I saw the photos you sent. Yeah.
I had to send those. I felt really good yesterday, and we're having a great rebound coming off of the show, so I'm ready for the next one. We gotta chalk it up as, hey, it's just a Saturday bodybuilding. It didn't go our way, but there's always another show, right?
Yeah. And the other show, let's talk about that, the Atlanta Pro.
Yeah.
Who else is doing that show? I don't know who else is even doing that show.
The only person that I know that I've gotten confirmation from is Bo Lewis, my buddy
Oh,
Bo.
okay.
So Bo's going to be in there,
Yeah.
and he told me at the beginning of the year that he was going to do it,
Okay.
and I never anticipated doing the show, but having the cards fall the way they did, got no
Yeah.
choice, man.
Yeah. Okay.
So
So a good show. Good show. I mean, obviously, you're going to be the front runner going to that show. So I think it's let's say you have it on lock. I don't really see who else is doing it till 4. So we'll say you have it on lock and get your qualification to the Olympia because you were right there with Sean Clarita and Keon Pearson, and then was it Calderon that came up
Angel,
here? Yeah,
yeah, it was
yeah,
Angel Calderon,
yeah.
who I don't know if he's coming back to 212, man.
He did okay. He would have got 8th or 9th at the Open in New York, I think.
I think he got 6th.
No, wasn't it? Was no 6th was Quinton.
Oh, Quentin got 6th.
So maybe he got
Um,
7th, and then Tim
so
got
yeah,
8th,
he must have been 7th then.
7th, and then Tim. I think Tim was 8th.
Yeah.
I'm correct. Okay. So, coach, do you have a coach now? You said you were working with.
Yeah, I'm working with Neil Hill. I'm working with
Oh,
Yoda right now, and we're in good hands. And
yeah.
this is another thing too. So having left Dave Palumbo
Mhm.
to work with Justin, our first show out, we finished second. That was
Yes.
our first, and that was an awesome showing and a very controversial placing
Yeah.
because everybody thought that I should have beaten Keon
Yes.
at the Tampa Pro.
Yeah.
So we got second there. But then from that point, we went on to win Texas. We placed well at the Olympia. The following year, we won New York.
Yeah.
Then we placed better at the Olympia. So I just look at this as a learning curve. Neil's got to learn me. I got to learn Neil. We get second. You see where I'm going with this?
Yes. Yes.
So let's figure out how we can work together and take it to the next level.
Yeah. Okay. So what's the strategy going into the Atlanta Pro then? Physique wise, what are you going to bring differently than you did from New York to Atlanta?
Matt, I am so charged right now. Like, I cannot tell you, because having finished to someone who I beat,
Yes.
at the Olympia, having him come back and, get my number.
Yeah.
Really kind of, he's a good guy and everything, but dude, nobody likes Liz.
You're motivated. You don't go to play. You don't go to New York and get second or third. You go to win the show and get that the accolades and the momentum.
Absolutely.
Right.
Absolutely. And I'd like to double down on this. I don't believe anybody has won that show in consecutive years.
Oh yeah.
Very few athletes can say I won the show back to back.
Yeah.
And you know how difficult that is, because you're going in there with a big old target right on your back.
Yeah.
So everybody wants to take you down. They have all the motivation in the world for you. And I knew that. I knew that Oleg was coming, and if it wasn't Oleg, it was going to be somebody else. So I knew what I had to bring, and I thought I brought enough. But Oleg brought some, nasty condition, and he presented it well. So I can't be mad at that, because I knew that at that time, it wasn't going to be anything like a walkthrough.
And that's showing the class that you have to say that, when the better bodybuilder on that day in particular beat you, you're willing to admit that and take it and just, use it as fuel. And you're going to the Atlanta Pro to, you're taking names, man. You're fucking motivated. You're pumped, and you're definitely gonna look better. I can't see how you can't look better as you continue to keep dieting. So
and that's the thing about me. As much as I don't like to do a second show other than the Olympia, I'm always better on that second show.
Yeah.
Because you have that fuel.
Yeah.
So we're using that gas, and we are full inferno right now. Yeah. And dude, I'm telling you, 6 weeks from now, it will be my best. And not for nothing, I believe that New York was my best overall presentation. You just weren't able to see everything that I brought due to the lighting, due to my tan being a little bit too dark.
Yeah.
But again, it's not like you get a run through. You know what I
No.
mean? You don't get to go out in the lights and see what you look like and then come back and adjust.
Yeah.
It's all right. Let's see if this works. And
Yeah.
that's it. That's all you could do.
Yeah. So for Atlanta, you probably makes sense to come in a little bit lighter coat of tan, just to make up for it. It is darker lighting, right? You can try and show that physique a little bit better on stage. Let's talk about a little bit about your training style, because I have no clue about your training. I see you working out, but I don't know what you do in the gym. Are you a high rep, 12 to 15? Are you like 8 to 10? What's your range and your style?
I love high reps. 8 to 10 is cool, but I mean, I better have some weight on the bar.
Okay.
I better have, it's gotta be heavy for me to do 8 to 10. That's probably going to be my max set and max effort.
Okay.
But I'm a high rep guy. 85 to 90% of my strength is going into that 15. And like, I'm an animal in the gym. Like, I'll tell you straight up, there are guys up there that will keep up with me for a time, but to make it through my workout, everybody's gassed.
Yeah.
Everybody's gassed.
Because you're a high repper.
I'm
I was a high rep. I need that pump. 8 to 10, I'm not getting no pump with that shit. So it's like I can't.
No. High rep, heavyweight. That's it. And I don't shy away from anything. But as you age, you learn your body and you learn what works. And I'm at that point now where I have it dialed in. So I'm not going to sit here and bullshit with I need to do 1,000-pound deadlift. That does me no good.
Yeah,
that does me no good. All that's going to do is lead to injury.
Do you find it harder to get in shape now? That's because it's for me as I'm older too. It's like, man, it's not as easy for me to fucking get tighter. Man.
How old are you?
I'm 70 you.
Oh shit! Yeah. All right, cool. Now I'll say this, man.
Yeah.
Okay. So you ask Steve. Steve will tell me every time he sees me, he's like, dude, you're never not in shape.
Yeah.
And that's kind of me. I might get a little bit of fluff on me in the off season, but I'm always show ready. Like I stay there. And that was advice that I learned earlier in the game before I became a bodybuilder.
Yeah.
I used to see articles with Lee Haney and, that's Lori running and grab her purse.
Nice.
But yeah, so I would see them and they would tell me, hey, never get above 10 to 15 pounds of your stage weight.
Yeah.
If in truth, scientifically, you can really only put on about 7 pounds of lean muscle mass a year.
Mm-hmm.
What the fuck am I putting on 35 pounds for?
Exactly. Good point.
Yeah. My heart doesn't need that.
No.
That's horrible sleep, right? Yeah. That's walking around. You can't tie your shoes. You gotta inhale deep and exhale, tie your shoe.
Yeah.
And if you fuck up that knot, you need a 5-minute timeout.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So everything becomes painstaking. So that 10 to 15 pound range, that's where I live, and we're talking about it today because I was scrolling through some photos when I got up to like 255.
Yeah. Wow.
You could just see all the discomfort on my face. And I was like, I never want to be that heavy again.
No. Good advice.
Sure was cool wearing a 4X t-shirt, but I mean, 250 for a t-shirt?
Exactly. And that just means you got to work that much harder to get into shape and get all that fluff off. Yeah.
That's hours of cardio. That's sacrificing so much time, just to say, yo, that guy's impressive in the gym. Mm-hmm. I bodybuild, I'm not trying to win any titles in the gym.
Yeah. No, exactly. And okay, so it brings me to, your diet. What type of diet do you follow? It's a carb cycle. Dave Palumbo was it keto? I don't know if you did keto with Dave, but
so I was never on keto with Dave. We might have had like a stretch where we're like, all right, let's cut the carbs, right? But it was never all out keto. That it didn't work for me. My muscles need carbs. I was one of those athletes that actually, fun fact, I thrive off of junk food. I don't like to eat it.
Yeah.
But it just works for me. So, we figured out a system of carb cycling that actually works and we learned how to balance it.
Okay.
But now, having grown up, having matured, having taste, you don't have to do as much junk. You can replace it with clean carbs. You just got to find the right clean carbs that work.
Yes. Okay.
So I advise anybody who's getting into this, who's getting into fitness, dude, figure out your body. Don't
Yeah.
try and copy what this guy's doing. Don't try and copy what that guy's doing. Learn your body, because you're the only person that has to live in it. You can take advice from everybody, but still, at the end of the day, you got to figure out your formula.
Yeah. Yeah. I did keto diet for my entire competitive career. I'm terribly carb sensitive, so I just I can't. Yeah, it's terrible. So I just do keto, and I can get really dry and lean that way. So just stuck with that for me. So that worked for me. Carb cycle, not so much. What's a low day for carb cycle on for you?
Depends on who I'm working with.
Okay. Is Neil more carbs for you?
Oh yeah. Honestly, he feeds me well. I'm never hungry. Not that I was hungry before, but it was just, more tedious to make it through a workout. With Neil's diet plan, dude, I get in the gym and, I'm full. Like I'm always full and charged up.
Okay. Okay. And then next question here, as I get kind of deeper into it, a little bit more personal. Okay. Who's been your main support system throughout your bodybuilding career?
Oh, that's easy. Family. I got my girl with me. She's been with me since day one.
Yeah.
Well, not really day one, but as far as amateur to pro, she was there as an amateur, saw me turn pro, and she's been at every show since.
Awesome. Okay.
Mom's is there, sister's there, and just, all the supporting cast.
Yeah. Okay. So tell me about your mindset. Okay. This isn't talked about a lot on podcasts when bodybuilders do interviews and stuff. So what type of mindset do you need to be a successful pro bodybuilder?
I think, no, fuck thinking. I know you got to have the mindset of an apex predator. Yeah. So you can swim in the water with all these other creatures, but when it's time to go in, go get what's yours. Let nothing stop you from getting what you feel is yours. And I say that with an asterisk, because it is a subjective thing that we do. You can't bully anybody to making you be the winner, but you can present the best version of yourself, and you could do it at the highest level and try and be, compelling, convincing. But you can't be upset if you don't get that W. You just got to be happy with what you present on stage.
Yeah,
that's got to be your victory. That's got to be your win. Because how are you going to get mad when your fate is in somebody else's hands? You know what I mean?
That's why I'm asking this question, because the young guys that are watching this, they're watching you, and they're trying to get information and advice. That's really good 100%. Advice.
100%.
To not get held up on, well, man, I fucking got fourth in the show. Like, fuck, I'm done. I'm this, no, man. Like, you're in the hand of the judges here, right? First off,
right. And this is what cracks me up about that, right, Matt? Because these guys, they'll put all this effort into the show, and they give all the blood and guts, dude. At the end of the day, if you don't win, remember, you chose to do this shit. What are you complaining for?
Yeah.
You knew what it was when you got here. Don't get butthurt because, all right, let me re-say that. Yeah. Don't get your emotions hurt. You know what I mean? When you chose to leave your fate in somebody else's hands, you did that.
Yeah.
So don't get mad about it. There's always another show. Come back better.
Exactly. You have to have your emotions in check when you're a bodybuilder, especially at the top level. Because
convenient amnesia.
Yeah.
You got to have convenient amnesia. Yeah. You did it. It's done. Whether it's win or lose, sure, you can celebrate your victory because it was good. It felt good. But just know that there's another show coming. And the same guy that beat you here, might lose to you there.
Yeah.
Right?
It's happened. It's already happened with you and Ole. So, perfect example. So let's talk about the Olympia. Obviously you're trying to qualify. I know you're going to qualify. You're going to be at the Olympia. So let's just put that behind us, right? To get in the universe. It's there. What's your expectations? So you got fourth last year at the Olympia.
Yep.
You got Angel just ahead of you, and then Sean Clarita and Keon Pearson. What do you have to
All right.
do to beat? Because okay, first off, what's your goal? Is your goal to become the Mr. 212 Mr. Olympia?
Without doubt,
Okay.
without doubt. And I know it is within the realm of possibility for me to do that, Matt. And I
Yeah.
say that with no hesitation.
Okay.
You know, I respect all the guys that, you know, have mastered their craft and have the opportunity to be on that Olympia stage because they earned it. And I know exactly what they went through to get there. But again, apex predator, I want to tear everybody's limbs off. You know, I want to win, and I know I have it in my power to win. It is finding the right formula on that day for those few short hours to show that I am worthy of that title.
Yeah.
However, when you ask what I got to do,
yes,
I gotta
ask. Yeah,
I gotta out present Keon.
Yeah,
come in bigger than Sean, be more conditioned than the both of them.
yes.
All things that I can do.
Mm-hmm.
All things that I can do.
Well,
Yeah.
you're already bigger stage weight than Sean, so that's not the
so
bigger.
This is
when you say
this
bigger,
is
what do you
one
mean
thing.
then? Because people know you're bigger than Sean, weight wise.
Well, sure, I'm taller, I'm heavier, but roundness, fullness, balance. You know, balance can. My insertion's got to be on point. I can't be holding any fat around my, you know, waist or anything like that. Everything has to be tied in soup to nuts because we're talking about a two-time champ here.
Yeah.
Not to mention all the accolades that come outside of the Olympia that he's achieved.
Yeah.
Right. And, you know, Keon, he's got great structure, but I've got great structure too. Like, you know, and I won't hesitate to say that I'll go shot for shot with Keon.
Yeah.
Whether I'm picked the winner for that shot, that's up to the judges.
Yeah.
But, you know, and again, that's tomato. Some people prefer mine. Some people like his classical, pretty, you know, presentation. I think that I have a little bit of that and a lot of the density and then the vascularity that goes with it.
Yeah.
And I think the more I do this, I know the more I do this, the better I get at presenting it. So if trajectory counts for anything, 2021, I finished 8th. 2022, I finished 7th. 2023, I jumped up to 4th. Let's keep that ball rolling.
Let's keep it going. Like, do you, Angel Calderon beat you? I didn't have him beating you at the 2023 Mr. Olympia, be honest. What's your thoughts? Like, you just, like, you were there, I wasn't there, so you were there standing next to the guy, your shape and everything. Do you think you should have placed, I mean, it's uncensored here, so do you think you should have placed ahead of Angel?
Yes. Yeah. Yes. And I love Angel, but I go back and I watch footage, and I was also there in person. So I struggled to understand the reasoning behind that. And, you know, what was said was I started to fade. I went back and I watched the footage. And I'm trying to find it still. You know, I think that I held it. And if you go back, even in just the sequence of photos that the photographers take, I never dropped the pose. No. I held everything. I put everything into every pose, and I was trying to secure at least a third place finish, just so I didn't have to compete this year. Yeah, because I knew if I had that time, I could have brought something special come October, and I still will. Yeah, I still will. I promise you that. Yeah, but I don't know. The judges see something different from their perspective. So again, I got to take their word as gold. But I don't see in the video, in the 4K video, or in the pictures where I dropped a pose. No, and I think I actually got harder. Granted, he got harder, but I did nothing to lose positioning unless he was ahead of me from before. Yeah, he's and even. Go ahead. I'm sorry. Even Tyler was saying that a lot of the judges, or some of the judges, let me rephrase that. Yeah. Some of the judges had me finishing third. Yeah. Like, I guess Steve is the head judge of this show, so
He likes conditioning over shape, as he's admitted to. And then you got
Well,
go ahead.
Steve didn't judge. Steve doesn't
Oh, he
judge New
didn't.
York Pro
He didn't.
anymore.
No, no,
No,
no.
no.
Sorry, I'm talking about the Olympia versus you versus Angel at the
Oh
20.
yes,
Yeah,
yes,
yeah, yeah.
yes, yes.
So
Yeah.
I think
So
yeah, and
yeah,
Angel's shape definitely not the shape that you have, but he had the conditioning. So if I'm your coach, I'm saying, man, we have to bring in the hamstrings and glutes tighter, drier from the lower back as well, and
yeah,
try and not have that little filmy look glaze to the physique. What can we do, Neil? What do I have to do? What tell me what to do so I don't have that filmy look? Because everything's there. Your
yeah,
conditioning, the vascularity, the round, everything's there. So it's just like I just need
yeah.
to come in drier.
So here's the thing, right? I think the hamstrings might get muddy with the tan,
Yeah,
but my hamstrings are honestly one of my strongest
yeah,
suits, and a lot of people don't get to see it because
yeah.
without the tan, everything is there. But from the lower glute to upper lower back
Hmm.
has always been my Achilles heel.
Yeah.
We won't have that problem in 6 weeks.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah, we won't have that problem in 6 weeks.
Yeah.
And
Plus
I
plenty
know,
of time.
yeah, I know what goes wrong there, and we confirmed it at the New York Pro.
Yeah.
So we have an answer.
Okay.
Yeah,
Because your glutes are there. You can see the lines. It's like it's fucking
yeah.
it's there. Yeah.
I don't know what it is, man. I just got a big old ass.
It's crazy. It's like Samson. It's like the Samson Dauda thing. Like, why? Hey, I forgot to ask this. Cardio. How much are you? Are you a huge cardio guy, or do you not need much? Like, what's your cardio? Before I forget.
I don't need much, but there is a threshold where my body pushes back on it.
Okay.
And it's not to say that I can't do it. I'll do it willingly. Like you give
Yeah.
me 1,000 hours.
Hmm.
When I was with Dave, there were times I was doing 2 hours of
Yeah.
cardio. But again, I was also a much smaller,
Yeah.
lighter bodybuilder.
Yeah.
And there comes a point where if I go too far, you start talking about inflammation
Hmm.
and things like that. So we know that less is more with
Yeah.
cardio for me.
Okay.
And I was a sprinter by trade back in the day. So, my body can sustain long distance
Hmm.
workouts. It just doesn't want to.
Yeah.
The
Yeah.
mindset is there. The mindset is there, but the blowback could be catastrophic.
Okay. So you're doing like 10, 20, 30 minutes or like what's your
No, I'm more than that. I'm
okay.
30, 40 minutes.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah,
That's typical.
6 times
Yeah.
a week.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Okay. All right. Okay. So I'm just gonna jump this question. 2024 Mr. Olympia, just for we know 212, your goal is to win. For the open, who do you got? Do you prefer Derek Lunsford's physique, or do you prefer Hottie's
Ugh.
or Samson's or like who's your pick going into the 2024 Olympia in the open?
So, okay, this is a great question because I think Derek is doing something that, I mean, like it's next level,
Mhm.
but at the same time, Hottie's showing us, dude, this is my show to lose.
Yeah.
He what he did at the Arnold back to back, Lord have mercy. That
Yeah.
was
Yeah.
that was something special. And I mean, not to throw shade or anything, but some people still had Hottie winning
Mhm.
at the Olympia in 2023.
Yeah, I did.
I
Yeah.
could I could understand if he actually did pull that off.
Yeah.
But right now, you're only as memorable as your last performance, right?
Yeah.
Let me ask you this, Matt, right?
Yeah.
So what was more memorable, Hottie's double up or Derek's Olympia win?
I would say Hottie's back to back Arnold victories because the physique I saw at the 2023 Olympia with Derek from the front, I was just like, this is the Mr. Olympia. You got Ronnie Coleman, you got Phil Heath, you got Lee Haney. These guys are shredded from front to back. Everything is just top level, elite. And then you had Derek, who was fantastic from the back, maybe one of the best backs in bodybuilding and hamstrings and glutes. but then from the front, you got to show it. And it's like he looks, like the muscle maturity isn't there, the conditioning in the chest, in the front arms, in the bicep peaks. It's soft, it's smooth looking skin. The abs, when he hits his abs, they're not really, it's just the front quads are smooth. So it's just like, I was like, man, like, come on, like his Hadi Chupon is destroying him from the front. And yet the judge was like, yeah, well, his shape is nice. And he did enough. Like, that's the standard. It's just enough to like, so I was really upset with him winning. I don't think he was there yet. I thought maybe a couple of years of just refining the front of his physique, and he could take it and give Hadi a couple more, and then Hadi retires and Derek comes in and does his reign. But he jumped the gun and got it, and a lot of people were unhappy with it. So that's kind of my take on.
Now, can I ask you a quick question?
Yeah.
And this is not to criticize your opinion or anything.
Yeah.
I just want to ask.
Yeah.
Were you at the show?
I wasn't at the show. So this is me looking at the live stream, yeah. And the pictures.
So all right.
Yeah.
With that said, there was actually 2 shows that night. Right. Okay. So when I say there were 2 shows, there was in person,
yeah,
and there was video.
Yes.
In person, it was a different show.
Mm-hmm.
I gotta defend Derek on that, because I could see why he won in person. Mm-hmm. We're all backstage getting tan, and when I got done, I came back out and I looked at my girlfriend. I was like, Derek's gonna win the show. Mm-hmm. Hadi was to my left, Derek was to my right.
Yeah.
And I saw it within feet.
Yes. Okay.
And I was like, Derek's winning the show. It was more than just the back, and he had enough from the front to win the show.
Yeah.
But I will say that with what I saw from Hadi at the Arnold on screen, I wasn't there in person.
Yeah.
Hadi's doing something that's very special. Mm-hmm. Because that's just density, size, conditioning, and phenomenal presentation.
Yes, he improved his waist. His waist was okay. So his waist was a little bit blockier at the Olympia 2023. He improved it for this show. His quads look wider, they look bigger. So, like you said, he's doing something special. And comparing that with Derek this year, it's gonna be close again. I kind of have a feeling Derek's gonna win again, because it looks like he's putting in the work, and he's a little bit bigger and everything. So
and he's rested. He's very rested right now.
Good point as well. Hadi's been going full throttle all the way up to now. So probably can't really take a break, because he got to get ready for the Olympia. So he may be getting burnt out a little bit, and he may not be responding as much to the the gear after a period of time. I'm sure he took a little bit of break, but so you're gonna have Derek versus Hadi, and I think that because the judges already like his physique, all Derek needs to do is come in shape, come in peeled from the back again. If he's not as conditioned from the front, doesn't seem to bother the judges. Hadi's going to be shredded like he was at the Arnold from the front, a little bit more improved from the back. I don't think it's going to be enough to beat Derek Lunsford, unfortunately, based off the blueprint or the trend line that the judges have been going with based on what we saw in 2023.
I think it's going to be one of the illest hose downs of all time that we're about to see, because you got some big names. And listen, I understand Samson didn't perform as people expected this year, but he was going up against what people always forget is a Mr. Olympia.
Yeah.
Right. So how do you earn the right to be called one of the greatest of all time? Yeah. So people he lost to Hadi. No, he lost to one of the greatest of all time. Yeah. In some capacity, that's almost like a honor in some weird way. You know what I mean? Like, I got second to this guy. Yeah. He's going to go down in history, and my name's going to be adjacent to his. Yeah, exactly. But that doesn't mean that Samson can't come back. No.
I think from the guest posting I saw, Samson 19 weeks out, he knows he's got pressure on him. He knows he's got to prove himself. He's got a lot of bad press from some of the things he's been doing or whatever. Yeah. But now he's got his game plan. Kuwait, going to dig down, go there for 16 weeks and hammer down and shut down and focus on the Olympia prep. I think he looks huge. So
He doesn't need any size. He's a
No, that's the
huge
weird
dude.
thing that he's.
But my thing is, right, let him decompress, let him settle, because we know these situations are stressful.
Yeah.
And the biggest enemy of bodybuilding is cortisol. So let
Yes.
him decompress and just wind down and get situated and watch him hit his stride. I
Yeah.
guarantee he's going to bring something special in October.
I agree with that. I think he's going to shock a lot of people, most likely. And, he could push Hadi. He could push Nick, maybe Andrew. So don't count Samson Dauda out, because I think he's got a chip on his shoulder now. And he knows he's got to bring it. He can't come into that Olympia and come in 5th or 6th and start dropping down in places.
Yeah.
That's
well,
yeah.
I think he's got all the motivation in the world right now, because when you get haters and you love doing what you do, that is fuel to your fire, and you want to prove them wrong and prove yourself right, and just say, hey, listen, I did it. Now figure out how I did it. You know what I mean? Yeah. So I'm not counting him out. It is possible. We don't know how his body's going to respond to this new climate, this new dry climate. It could work to his advantage. And keep in mind, climate does have a lot to do with bodybuilding. I find myself looking, one of my best looks was in Texas. Yeah. It was a dry climate. I was able to get very dry. I got my glutes shredded, and the just overall stress on my body was better. Well,
Ronnie's in Texas. Phil was in Denver, so higher altitude and oxygen level, everything, blood, it's right. He had an advantage over guys up there. But
subtle little changes, but you'll notice how your body responds.
Yeah. And I think Phil said that in the documentary. He went to Florida for the last Olympia he did versus Vegas, and he knew he felt different there. It was just different, humid. His body reacted differently to it. So
very true.
Yeah. Quick question here about, what do you plan to do after bodybuilding? Right, this isn't going to last.
Oh, wow.
Right.
No. So we're blessed with this opportunity, but in truth, Matt, like I want to explore things that have nothing to do with bodybuilding. Bodybuilding is fun. It's my pastime. It's my passion. I would love to have a podcast of sorts. I've been told that I'm good on camera.
Yeah.
Well, I think things like this would be fun. As a side gig, if it ever leads to something else, sure. I do coach on the side. For now it's really just like close friends, or if somebody really, really wants to do a show and I see the passion in them, I'll take them on. But I don't really want to get into coaching full time.
Okay.
As at this point. Gym ownership, that's another thing that I think about. That's always fun. In theory, in practice,
it's a lot of work.
I see a lot of the bullshit that Steve has to deal with, and sometimes I'm like, I couldn't even. So that's one of the things that I think about, is like a private club, maybe limiting to a couple hundred people, and we'll figure out what's next when we get there. But I can't reveal my entire hand.
No. Smart. And another question that doesn't get asked a lot: what are some of your hobbies? Like, what aside from bodybuilding? Are you like?
Eating. So I'm a big food. I'm a big foodie, man. Like I go where the food is. Some people like collecting Jordans. I got some Jordans too, but I'd rather go out and just have like a nice dining experience.
Okay.
And I love to travel, man. I never get to do enough of it because bodybuilding kind of overlaps that, and taking a suitcase of food is never pleasant.
Exactly.
So when I get done, I probably will be traveling a lot more. Make it my duty to take at least like 4 vacations a year.
Awesome. Okay.
I forgot to ask life is for living.
Exactly. Living and traveling and experience the world that we live in here. Would you ever do an open show? Like, have you done an open show during?
So that was the plan for this year.
Okay.
We were gonna win New York, and try and ride that wave going to an open show.
Okay.
So I actually still want to do an open show this year.
Okay.
You know, I want to make sure that the 212 qualifier is in concrete.
Yeah.
And, you know, if there's a show that's logistically lined up in relation to the 212 win,
Yeah.
we'll just use that rebound and try and, you know, look impressive in the open.
Okay.
And I know I could do it because at 220, I have a crazy look, dude.
Yeah.
You know, 220, 225. And seeing guys like Tonio more recently go
He's
into the
225
open.
on stage.
Tonio's 225 now?
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
So that's you be around his weight, but you're shorter, a little shorter.
Okay.
Yeah.
So fun fact, I like to give him shit all the time, but I've never lost to Tonio. So
okay.
That lets me know I can compete in the open.
Yes. Exactly. Just because they're like Hottie, they're all 212 guys. So it's like,
yeah, Derek, Hottie, Bonnick, Tonio, Sean has done an open show.
Yeah.
And you know, I always go back to the older guys like Kevin English.
Kevin English, man.
Jose Raymond, you know, Hide, another guy. These are all 212 guys.
Yeah.
You know, they're all 202 guys that decided, hey, I can compete. And more reassuring than all of that was talking to Lee Haney in 2021 or 2020, when the Chicago Pro was being held in Georgia, and I ran into Lee Haney, and he said, why are you doing 212? You need to be in the open. You know, so hearing one of the greatest, if not the greatest, tell me that, I was like, well, it's done. It's done. I got to do an open show now. You know, do
we need 212 anymore? Honest opinion.
Honestly, I say that there is a place for it.
Okay.
I think that people question it because it doesn't get as much exposure as the other categories. And I think that is what is throttling it back. But I think if there was a little bit more push to get the 212 division out into the mainstream, you know, it would have its place solidified. Right now, it looks volatile because, you know, people will say, oh, you're Mr. 212 Olympia. I've never heard of this guy.
Yeah.
You know, but he looks phenomenal, you know, and then they always back it up by, well, why doesn't he do the open? You know, so I think it's a progression system. It's kind of like a farm league.
Yeah.
You know, you build them up and then you put them in the game.
Yes. And
you know,
so it's worked for Derek, it's worked for Hottie. It's like a filter into the open. So I mean, to me, it's like, I get it. There's some guys that are in the 180s, like Clarita, that it's hard, but he's proven himself. He's done an open show and he's won at the 180 pounds. So it's like, that's what I'm saying. Is there the need for the 212 or just say, hey guys, this is the big show, Super Bowl. You go into the men's open, we eliminate the 212, and it's just one less class. Then there's more prize money spread over. It's like you're entitled to get more prize money now that you're in the open. So yeah. I can kind of see the need for it today, but I don't know if it's like needed now, especially.
So here's the thing: the 212 doesn't get awarded the same prize money as the open guys. In comparison, it's minuscule. Like, let's be honest, it's minuscule and compared to the open. But I think that's almost more incentive for the 212 guys to perfect their craft and then take it up into the open.
Yeah.
My opinion. So that's where I definitely say that, hey, there's a place for this.
Okay.
You know?
Right. Okay. No, good points. And we'll wrap it up here before I let you go. Is there any shout outs you want to give to anyone? Any gyms or sponsors? Any
Absolutely. Yeah. Shout outs to my coach, Neil Hill. Shout out to my girl, my wifey, Lori. Shout out to my Francis family. You know, my New York people always support me. Shout out to Iron Factory here in Brookfield, Connecticut. Shout out to the Super Gym in New Haven. That's a gym that gave me my start. Shout out to Kenny Wallach, you know, the guy that told me, hey, shit, you could do this. He was my first posing coach. Yeah. And you know, everybody that's helped me along the way, man, I gotta give you guys nothing but thanks, man. But this year, this one's for me, you know. So I'm going all in, man. This year, this one's for me. I appreciate all the support, but Apex Predator is hungry, and we got to eat something this year, and hopefully it will be that 212 trophy come October.
Yeah, man. Hey, man, if Clarita's off, if Keon's off, and you just happen
No,
to be
Matt, I don't want him to be off. I don't want him to be
good,
off.
good. I'm glad you fought back on that.
Him,
yes.
I want them to be at their best.
Yes.
I want them to be their absolute greatest they can ever be.
Good.
Let's see what lines up.
Yeah, I was going to see if you would fall for it. Be like, yeah, you're right. If they're off, I can. No, you don't have that mentality. I want to beat the best.
No. Yeah. No, I don't want you when you got a broken leg.
Yes.
You know.
Yeah. So no, awesome. Okay. Like I said, I think you can win the Mr. Olympia. I think you have all the tools, the shape, the symmetry. You're at the cap, right? You're a 209 or a 212. So you're right there. Do you think
personally? I think I could be better at a lighter weight.
A lighter weight, yeah.
Yeah. You know,
just sharper, and tad sharper.
I'm already one of the bigger guys in the 212 division.
Yep.
You know, so I'm told. I never see it. It's like
I think you are. You stack up right next to Keon. How much? I don't know how much Keon weighs.
Keon's usually like around 209.
Yeah. Okay.
But you know, you take into account density.
Yeah.
You know, yeah, and not to say that he can't do it. It's just, you know, he's getting better at that.
Yeah, he's younger and he doesn't have that muscle maturity.
100%.
Yeah, it's just a different graininess.
Yes. It's a different kind of muscle, but he can definitely get there in time. But yeah, not for nothing. I want everybody at their best, man. Listen, I want to take out every great white shark in the pond.
Yeah. And the news is you may do an open show this year. We're going to see how the Atlanta goes. And just
yeah.
Would you do it after the Olympia? Would you do an open show after?
If there is an open show available, because they moved Legion Fest now before the Olympia, so it is now a qualifier for this year.
Yeah.
But if there is something that's stateside, 100%.
Isn't there like the Korean or some show or something like that pays out a good money? Like those people are like people, man. They'd pay you to probably fly you out there to come to the show.
If there are any Korean promoters watching, you know, hey, hit me up, man.
Yeah.
You know, hit me up, send me a DM through Instagram.
Yeah.
Let's talk.
Yeah.
Let's talk. But first things first.
Yeah.
First things first. Let's win this Atlanta Pro. And man, that'd be one more notch on my belt. That'd be 4 pro wins, and that would only leave me Chicago to win. Yeah, Chicago. I don't think Cal Pro has 212 anymore, right?
No.
Yeah,
it's the open. Yeah. All right. Well, man, I appreciate your time. It's been a good. I think we're an hour into this.
I didn't even realize.
Wow. Okay. So. Nice, good interview. I appreciate you coming on. I definitely want to have you back on, maybe after the Atlanta leading into the Olympia prep, which I know you're going to be doing. So appreciate it, man. And I definitely would love to have you on. And thank you for coming on.
Thanks for having me, Matt. Appreciate you, brother. And hey, thank you for doing what you do for the culture, because we need it. I don't give 2 fucks what anybody says. You keep doing your thing. Keep being polarizing, keep shaking shit up, man. Grab it by the shoulders and shake it up, because, hey, it needs some life in it. And sometimes things get stagnant. Thank you for doing what you do, brother.
Man, I really appreciate it. And I'll keep doing my thing. And I look forward to seeing you soon.
All right, man.
All right. Catch you on the next one. Peace.
Later, guys.